Hello, everyone. I am Tacet, and welcome to the Gems of War World Lore events, Week 4, Day 5. So, today, as far as the thing, we have gotten it complete. So, as far as the events, we do have all the reward now, and now that we have all the points from our guilds, we might as well claim it and see what it is, and hopefully get a little bit better luck than Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter, we got 15 event keys from one of the vault keys. We got a vault key in one of the vault keys, which was pretty funny. And overall, nothing really too good. We did get a minor blue, but aside from that, nothing really too special in the event key drop to you off the vault keys. Hopefully this orb will make up for that slightly with a nice blue or purple. We'll find out. And the answer is yes. Very much yes. Major blue. Very nice. That is perfectly fine. But hello everyone. Hope all of you have been having a good weekend so far. Finally the weekend. Hello Bill. Hello Cookie. Hello Humberto. Hello John. Hello Ricardo. Hello Steve. And hello everyone else. Welcome, welcome. But there we go. Major blue. And hello Alfie. Okay, so got a really good loot off of that. Let's go and clear out our little bit of dailies then. The ones that I didn't do from earlier. We did finish up Bounty. We did this in the earlier morning stream. As far as the team that we used for it, it was War Elephant, Turtle, Tigraki Warrior, and Excavator. And yeah, it just ends up working out really well. Overall, pretty decent Bounty Hunter troop. However, we probably won't be using it after this fact. While Skull Spam is nice, it doesn't really get kills as secured and doesn't really upscale properly compared to Tigraki later on. So it seems like it'll still be better to mana generate for Tigraki. But we were still using it on occasion to get some pokes in. It's the first Bounty Hunter troop to have Skull Spam, so that's a pretty big thing going for it, if nothing else. And it does make for a pretty decent tank. However, there's better options out there, especially since Turtle actually technically tanks better with the 50% reduction that it has, which does still partially stack with a 25% extra reduction as well for even more reduction. But yeah, as far as it currently stands, Turtle and Tigraki are like the only two bounty troops that are always going to be used for the most part, whereas the other two are still pretty interchangeable. But of course, we still have to use a War Elephant this week as he's the bounty captain. And as I mentioned, the pet from Wednesday does work for today, assuming you're using Tigraki and War Elephant, which pretty much everyone should be, because War Elephant's the bounty hunter troop and the Tigraki is just good. You do get a little bit of bonus. It's not much of a bonus, but you do get a little bit of extra armor for having that little pet that we got from Wednesday. Anyways, so let's go and switch over to armor and start getting some levelage to the class of the week, which is actually Warpriest, which is exactly what we're leveling. Of course, we had the class event for it yesterday, but still trying to get this thing leveled, ideally to 100 by the end of this week, and should be able to. Probably get a 94, 95 this stream, and then go and aim for 100 by the end of this weekend. Should easily be able to do so. And then next week, we only have 2.5 hero classes to go. And then we have finished every single hero class in the game, because I only have 3 left after Warpriest. We have Diabolist, which we have at 90. We have Oracle, which we have at 80. And we have I completely forgot what the other one was now. Wow, why can I not remember the other one? And we have one other one, which is at like 80 or 81. Wow, why can I not remember the third one all of a sudden? I know we do have one. It must be a really bad hero class if I completely forgot about it. That it even exists. Oh, Slayer hero class. It's not that it's a bad hero class. It's pretty much identical to already existing hero classes. It was just a really weird addition. Yeah, Slayer was the other one. Also, hello, Webby, how do you say that again? Webisonics? Welcome. Hello, Wow. Hello, Lestat. Hello, Jefferson. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yep, hopefully everyone's been staying safe out there. Pandemic's still going on. It's still going to be that way for like months. Who knows, maybe even upwards of a year. I gotta take precautions. I'm not sure why they made Slayer class so bad. There's a lot of like instant kill potential they could have done with it. But it's made it like a standard skull spam trip that's almost identical to Warlord. There we go. And we do have magic deeds. So if you haven't gotten your magic kingdoms upgraded, definitely make sure to do so. You will need 120 of these total. 30 per magic kingdom. There are 4 magic kingdoms in the game. Or sorry, 90 of them. There are 4 magic kingdoms, however 3 of them... Or sorry, no, never mind. I was right the first time. Yeah. There's 4 magic kingdoms that need purple deeds. But there's a 5th magic kingdom that needs green. And of the 4 that you need purple deeds for 120 purple deeds, they are Blighted Lands. Actually, it's probably easier just pointing at them. But Blighted Lands, Darkstone, Karkaroth, and all the way in this top left corner, the Silverglade. Those 4 all require purple, needing 30 each, which is available right now in the thing. And there is a 5th Magic Kingdom, but it's Elcarjen, which uses green instead of purple. It is the only Magic Kingdom bonus that does not use purple, oddly enough. But purple is the most valuable deed in the game, as far as the normal color deeds, because you need them for all the magics, which I actually finished as of recently. We finished that the other week, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I finally have that done. There are still more kingdoms that use purple. But of course, the magic ones were the only particularly valuable ones we wanted to get out of the way first. And I do have enough right now to upgrade about 3 more kingdoms with how many Imperials we have. I just haven't done it yet. Mostly because I don't know which ones I actually want to go for. And also because the few stats that we would gain wouldn't make too big of an impact yet. I don't accidentally want to use them when we could be using it for an upcoming faction bonus. Because I don't want to overuse them before we do know what the faction bonus will end up being. And actually, do we know what the next 2 or 3 factions are? If we do, maybe we'll put them into that. We'll see. What do we currently know about it? There's only one way to find out. Check it. Do we know what the next faction is yet? Or do we need to wait till next patch? Does it say? No, it doesn't say what's linked to. Well, no, next patch. Yeah, it doesn't say what it's linked to yet. We'll have that info as of next patch, but currently we do not, so we'll have to wait. But as soon as we get that info, I'll probably upgrade every single one that we know up to that point. And those will be the ones I'll go for, just so we have extra bonus for whenever we do delves. Just make it a bit easier. Oh yeah, a lot of the packs for gems are extremely not worth it. The one specifically in that daily offer thingy. I wonder if they're actually going to tweak it next patch or something. I don't think they are. But it definitely could use some tweaking. I'm pretty sure all I got was useless crafting material. Is it Draugr Zoom? I forget if I already have Draugr Zoom upgraded or not. I don't believe I do. I was considering it between Urskea at one point, and then I just did Urskea instead, which was good because it was still getting a faction at the time. Well, if they're not desirable enough for people to ever go for, it's not going to help them at all. Because it won't even gem sync if people aren't sinking gems into it. Because that one's not worth it, that one's not worth it, and that one's not worth it. So I didn't get a single one that is worth it right now. All 3 of them are useless. Okay, so we finished out that, So let's go and get our level. And as soon as we get our first level, we'll hand out code. Where am I going? Let's go over to PvP. So as far as our current progress, we are at 92 on Warpriest. And the goal, of course, is 100 by this weekend. So, should probably all aim for 95 to stream, since we don't have other weekly stuff we need to get done. And as far as other hero classes we need to level, Slayer is one of them, Oracle is another, and then half a Diabolist, or at least relative to the other ones. But we have it all the way at 90, which obviously way beyond half. Half is 70. But yeah, we're almost there. Very, very close. After we finish out this class, we have 2 80s and a 90. Alright, let's go get our level. Then we'll hand out code. Oh, I do have Terran's World bookmarked. It's just it's the Steam browser. So it doesn't have like any of the default anything. But I have them all marked in Google Chrome. Oh, okay, so the weapon from the faction is associated to it. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Because whatever it's associated to is what the kingdom's going to be. Yeah, I need to double check if Draugr upgraded then. It would make sense. Draugr has, I believe, the lowest amount of troops of any kingdom. So it would make sense that Draugr would be next. It's not that bad because whenever you use Glaceon plus what's his name? You'd end up getting combo. Yeah, this place doesn't even have 10-star yet. Wow. Actually, neither does Cinemirage. They're the only two kingdoms in the game that don't have 10-star yet. Cinemirage is like 1 or 2 troops short, and Draugr like 3 or 4 or something. Really high amount. Yeah, that's still too off. Actually, Draugr might be so far away that even 4 troops might not be enough for it to get a star. Oh, no, it will be. It'll bring it to 12 stars. Yep, it'll be 12 stars after that. Yeah, we never have it leveled up this one. What do we get from it stat-wise? We get a permanent +1 attack bonus. Interesting. Sure. There we go. We've done it. It has been done. It has been done. Do we have 2 that are just upgraded? Do we have another 14 kingdom anywhere? Can't remember. Because we have enough that we could put 2 into here. So I'd want 1 more Imperial before I would do that. If we get 1 more Imperial, I'll probably grab that life. I don't know, we'll see. Theoretically, we can get every single kingdom in the game almost to 13. Not literally every single one, but a decent handful. Because how much does it cost to get 1 to 13? Just 13, nothing else. Only 12. So we can get very close to getting every kingdom to 13 then. Because we're sitting on about 50 of most, so that'd be a few kingdoms then. Let's see, how many color deeds do we have right now? Yeah, a good majority of them are at that point or a little bit above, or if they're a little bit lower, it's because we already put 1 into 1. But as far as like one like red, I can end up getting a lot of them in. Gosh, have we spent like any reds, or have we just been getting a lot of red? We're almost at 100 red deeds right now. Surprisingly. I don't think I have another 14. Otherwise, we could theoretically upgrade both of those. 14s to their extra stat. Nope, just the Merlantis. Anyways, we've upgraded Draugr. And now we have a permanent +1 attack. Not like that really helps us in most situations, but nothing else that probably actually helps us the most in Guild Wars because of Guild War Defend. So our AI team actually does a little bit more damage with their skulls. There we go. Instead of 59 attack, we now have 60 for a little bit slightly better pokes. Nothing else. One of the other events that helps out a lot with is invasions for the speeding up of it, because every 1 attack is 5 attack. Due to how the game mode works. Oh, thank you for that, John. Is upgrading the kingdom to level 13 enough to make a difference in delves? Well, theoretically, you only need to do it to 12, which gives you 25% bonus. Though the other one does give you slightly extra bonus if you use a bunch of the faction troops. But would it help you make a difference in delves? Not really. It can help a little bit. But it's definitely better than nothing. Like 25% extra for those little stats can add up to be a little bit. If you have them at 100, it's like the difference of about 20 extra stats. So it definitely adds up. So hello, Bushka. Welcome. Well, we're getting pretty good on repicks right now. Almost every single one is an easy battle. Oh no, only one single green. It's so bad I gotta take a manual move. Luckily we surge on it. Yeah, pretty much the first one every single time, or second one. Just getting it. As far as the repick spam. The power of keeping low PvP rating. It definitely helps out. At least for this anyways. What's the most number of pet battles you've done in a day? I never really kept track. But I'd probably say anywhere from 10 to 12. Though it might have been higher. I never really kept track though. But generally during gnome events it can get pretty high. Yeah, during a non-gnome event, I'm not sure what the highest I've ever done was in a day. Probably around 6 to 8. Yeah, the most you could theoretically do is 24, but it's pretty unrealistic. Since you'd have to be up every single moment of every single day for it. Or, you know, throughout the entire day. You'd also need your guild to be active enough to trigger that many pets. Which you'd need at least a couple people in PvP farming it up. Because when it's not a gnome event, it's possible that one person within an hour does not get a pet gnome. Even with this quick of a method that we're doing now, it is possible that you don't get a pet gnome within an hour. So you need multiple people doing it at once. Throughout a 24-hour period. Though what I'm doing right now does I have the highest chance of getting a pet gnome in the entire game. Repick spamming Explorer 1 casual PvP. Has the highest pet gnome rate in the game. So where's our 1 mana? There we go. Every single PvP battle has the same rate. But that's why this is so much quicker. Because you get to cycle through battles very quick. While still having the full chance of finding a pet gnome. And also gaining 2 XP per battle, which is the main reason why we're doing it. A nice byproduct of that is that we also have a good chance of finding pet gnomes. Actually, do we even have a pet active right now? I don't think we do. Nope, no pet active. We'll need to go change that. Ah, well, there's a gnome. It's not a pet gnome, though. I know, a barrier. Instantly undone. I think it's off the hero. There's nothing else on the team has it. I have no clue why I took that instead of just doing explosion. Didn't help us at all. So we should be getting that level any moment now. Ah, that reminds me, I need to go grab the codes and put them on the website thingy. I didn't do that yet. That won't take that long though. Let me make sure not to copy paste all of these into chat. That would be a fail. Let's see, copy. Where's my code section? Paste. Oh, someone messaged me. Who's this? Oh, Salty messaged me again. Oh, that was just a message for the thingy. All these should be used up. Yep. Gosh, I have no clue why the forum still uses red to highlight. It's so weird. Put that right over there, right? Yep. Save. Boom. There we go. Again, that should be the right one. I'll copy paste for when we go and use it later. Put that right over there. Actually, that looks really similar to the code we just used, but it is different. There we go. Okay, it's already all ready to go on copy paste. Isn't there a way to copy paste on phone? I know I've done it before. I'm not sure if you could do it to YouTube chat. I think you can. I've never used YouTube chat on a phone. But I know for sure I've used the copy paste function on a phone before. Even though I know very little about phones. I was able to get it to work somehow. I think I like pressed on the highlighted word or something. I forget. There's some kind of way to do it. Hello, Gustavo. Welcome. Getting a lot of normal gnomes. We want to find a pet gnome. Something better than 5 diamonds. We don't need diamonds. Or most people need diamonds. We have way more than we could ever know what to do with. I think I'm up to 17 mythics or something. Some kind of absurd number. By the end of this year, I think I'll have enough diamonds to craft 2 years worth of mythics. By the end of this year. It's going to be a pretty absurd number. There we go, there's our level. And here's the code. There you guys go. Use it on gemsaward.com for the game code section. Your invite code can be found in the For Your Settings menu. Redeem code is right over there in chat. And give us the same order as always. 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, 2,500 gold. Enjoy, everyone. It almost looks like the same code we handed out earlier. But I assure you, it is a different one. Because the one this morning started with like the same 4 or 5 like letters and numbers. Okay, what do we need here? We'll grab that for now. And if anyone has any questions or anything you want me to go over, let me know. I'll make sure to do so. Not as much to go over this weekend, given that Bounty Hunter event tends to be one of the shorter events that we end up getting. Unlike most events that can last at least more than like a single day. Bounty Hunter tends to be like 2 hours, 3 hours tops, and then it's like, oh, it's done. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing because there's always events overlapping each other. But normally the weekly events, at least to most endgame guilds, I feel like it's done by Thursday. Like right in time for the weekend event. Because if everyone buys minimum, that's where you would end up landing. Is Thursday completion for pretty much every week-long event. Well, with the only exception being Guild Wars. Did I finish it this morning? Yeah, we finished it in 2 hours. The entirety of Bounty Hunter. And we claimed the orb of the World Lore event, which ended up giving us a major blue at the beginning of the stream. But yeah, we finished the entirety of Bounty at this morning on the other stream. It's pretty much 2 hours flat. What team? War Elephant, Chris Turtle, Tigaraki, and Excavator. If you have 0 niches, your advice on whether you should farm now or wait till 5.0? Both. Farm now and 5.0. It's a good idea to try to get 3 Nisha medals at least. This is something that's good to have. It does take a while, but it is advised to have at some point. What's with all the submerge all of a sudden? Oh, that one thing has random stats effect and it got submerged twice. That's very annoying. I was wondering what that was coming from. But it's from the random stats effect that start a battle, the barrier and the submerge and all that. It gives a random stats effect to a random ally at start a battle. And it keeps giving the most annoying ones, apparently. Because the only two we don't want to see is barrier and submerge, and it has done barrier and submerge every single battle so far that we've seen it. Yep, no problem on the code. Your suggestion on non-Zugov Nisha farming team, and whether you suggest 12 or 9. You should never do 9. 12 is the only one that exists beyond 5. But you'd want to run with probably Rowain to Urska's Shield. It's one of the cheaper things that you can do that's still very effective. Throw in Urska's Shield onto Rowain. Keep doing that until it's one-shot range and then cast. Or go for a double cast Rowain build, where you buff cast Rowain again and win. If you're using Sunspear class and have Fireblade unlocked, does your troops do triple damage? No, only your hero. Anything that's ever on skull only applies to your hero, or only applies to the troop that has it on skull. For example, Silent One silences on skull, and it only applies to it. But every on skull effect only applies to specifically the troop that takes a skull, not to your entire team. Yes, Vispeni, the team that you mentioned. You can also just go with double mana accumulation. Because normally Rowain gets all of the mana naturally, without needing a half mana start. We'll go for that for now. Yeah, I would normally advise not going for the half mana and go for something else that would help speed it up if you're going to go for it. Especially if you're going for multicast for the Urskia shield. But even if you're going for the double cast for Wayne, it's normally going to be fine on mana. Just with 2 accumulators rather than a half start. But he also helps get that initial Urskia shield up. No, you could run it anyway. Whatever seems to work best. They're all pretty good methods for doing it. As long as it's something based around Urskia shield, Rowan with the mana accumulation. Works very well. What's nice about it is super cheap. All the components of it. Since there's Urskia shields from 250 wins from Sentinel Hero class from Urskia. And Rowan's for free from completing a Forest of Thorns. You could have both of them within a week. Easily a lot less. You could theoretically have them both within a day. But definitely within a week. Even if you have neither. Are there any mythics good uses more than once in a team? You mean mythics that work well when there's 2 of them in a team? There's a few of them, not many though. Ferris Ra is the most noteworthy one. Aside from that, I know there's a few other. Catches the Bull works pretty decent with 2. I'm trying to think of what else. I know there's at least like 1 or 2 others. But I know 2 of the bigger ones are, well, I guess Tina 9000 as well. But 2 of the bigger ones are Catches the Bull and Ferris Ra, as far as using 2 of them within a team. Tesla 9000, mostly because it's the best spell reduction troop in the game currently. However, that's not always going to be the case. It's good against Yagui Queen of Tanya, as well as anything with really high spell damage. Was that a spoiler? What spoiler? Are all the easy battles? There we go. We're doing so good on them. Tina and spell reduction? She's always had spell reduction. Double Infernus is okay. I'd honestly, in the current state of the game, go Mistralis or something else as the other one. The only problem with Double Infernus is its extra turn value and pretty much all of its traits are completely lost when you use double of it. Because having 1 compared to 2 doesn't really double any of the effects that he has as far as traits. It's better in the current state of the game to consider going Infernus and then another Infernus-like troop, like Obsidius or Mistralis or something like that. With the Infernus normally up front, in front of the other one. But the only exception may be Obsidius, where Obsidius can be used as a tank, though its ability isn't as good. If you're planning to go for a certain mythic in Soul Forge, say Iron Gut or Wild Queen, should you wait for 5.0 and reevaluate? No. Anything that's still really good right now will be really good in 5.0. No meta is really changing, I don't believe that much in that regard. But it will and it won't. But, unless I'm forgetting of something, almost every mythic that is good now will still be good then. And with very few exception, every mythic that is bad now will still be bad then. Would farming change next patch? No, pretty much all the farming methods are still the exact same. There are some instances where it might be quicker, but you still farm the exact same way. Like, no farming team meta is changing, I don't believe. Like, every farming meta, like for gold, souls, all that's still the same. As well as the method I'm doing right now for EXP and gnomes. Still the same method. You wouldn't even change the team. Can I name the exceptions? No. I'm not even sure what the exceptions would be, because you'd have to look at every single option. It's hard to explain without saying what it is. Let's see, I'll move that over. No, Shade of Zorn will still be the most useless thing in the game. That's not changing unless they rebalance him, specifically. Which they might be doing. I hope they are. We won't know what the rebalance is until the day of. So unfortunately, we don't even get to beta test rebalance. Does anything give Megavore 50% mana start? I believe no. Because he's what? Merfolk and Monster, if I'm not mistaken? I don't believe either of those have a half mana star at the moment. He might eventually get it, but I don't believe he does currently. Yeah, there's probably going to be some interesting teams that do develop once he does have 50% mana start. Because armor tier into a full AoE or a full split has some potential. Actually, I wonder if Explore 12 would have enough damage to Megavore half mana start into a Phoenicia one-shot. I don't think that's enough damage, though. Explore 12 has like 100-something durability. I don't think Phoenicia's damage goes that high. It goes high, not that high, though. Not to mention, what if it gets resummoned? Well, then again, you could always just do ones that avoid it completely. Gargantar becomes meta in 5.0. That would be funny. They add something that automatically counts the start of battle as 100 deaths, so that he will have how much damage is that? So that he would have, what's his boost ratio? I can't remember. Is it 5 damage per death? But he'd have like 500 damage then or something. That's totally what's gonna happen. Actually, I completely forget, how much damage does he get per death? Completely forget because he's so useless. Let me go double check. That's gonna bother me. Gargantar. Gargantar gets 15 damage per def. So next patch, you'll automatically start with 1,000 defs, so you'll be able to do 1,500 damage with a Gargantar. There you go. Make him from the worst mythic in the game to the best. He shall start with 1,500 base damage. There we go. Nice and balanced. Where was I? Let's go back to PvP. Yeah, Gargantar is never going to be good. There's like almost no change it could do to ever make that viable without completely overhauling what it does or making its boost ratio like 50 or something. And even then, it might still not be viable. The Four Horsemen at one point was actually not that bad of a team. However, in the current state of the game, they're pretty horrible. The biggest issue Four Horsemen has is no good mana accumulation. Not a single one of the four of them mana accumulates. And while you can kind of obfuscate that some by using Famine to keep spamming down their mana by having it in first slot, and then having Disease off a Plague, it's still not a replacement for having mana. Yeah, what if they gave like some kind of arbitrary bonus for the Four Horsemen? It's as set as its own kingdom. They could do so if they really wanted to. If they really wanted to try to make Four Horsemen actually viable so people would go pick it up, because currently there's almost no point in picking up Four Horsemen, they could just make the kingdom bonus for the Four Horsemen extremely overpowered. Like, something like, I don't know, 30 to all stats or something, I'm not sure. But, they could just make it super, super, super high, only for that one specific kingdom, since the only thing there are the Horsemen. To actually make it viable to use 2, 3, or 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. And then make it extremely massive when all 4 are used together. Yeah, it would be rather interesting. I don't think they would ever do something like that, though. The 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse bonus is still in line with all the other ones, as far as what it ends up giving. Actually, let me go double check. What is the exact bonus for 4 Horsemen? I know it's something pretty bad. It's a bit of magic with like attack or something. But it's the same numbers as like anything else, so it's relatively bad. What do I really not need? Pure Faction we don't need. I'm gonna go and go to Apocalypse. Where's the good old Apocalypse? Technically there's 5 Apocalypse troops now. I almost forgot Xenos counts as 1 too. 4 Horsemen. And if you were to use this as an actual team, it'd probably be in an order like this or so. Yeah, something like that. There you go. Anyways, 4 Horsemen. The bonus for 4 Horsemen is... yep, I was right. It's pure attack and magic. But yeah, this needs to be like 30, 30, 30, 30 or something for them to even be remotely viable. It'd be kind of interesting if they made an exception for this typing. Who knows, maybe they will eventually. But right now all they get is a little bit of attack and magic, which is pretty pitiful. Relative to how bad the synergy is of using that many of the same on the same team. Like that. Oh yeah, here was the code from earlier. It's probably used up by now, but same order as always. 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, 2,500 gold. There you guys go. Okay, let's go back to the grind. Still need to get at least 1 more level. So we want to get 95. I should easily be able to do that. And get that 100 by the end this weekend. And then just 2.5 more hero classes to go. And by 2.5, technically even less than that. Theoretically, all we have is like a half a hero class left to do. Actually, a little bit more than that. We have like a, you can pretty much say 1 full hero class. This is about how much more EXP I need total. Between the 3 hero classes, aside from this one. So as soon as we finish out this hero class, it's pretty much like another hero class gets added to the game. And then as soon as we finish out that one entire one, which is 3 of them, we are essentially done. It's just broken up into 3 parts. But as far as the total amount of EXP, 1 full hero class is about the same as the other 3 we still need to do after Warpriest. Yes, filling her Scale Shield twice is slower than Rowan twice. That is correct. However, depending on the battle, and if she gets hit prior to getting barrier, you sometimes need to. But it depends on the situation. Or more often than not, it is better to go double Rowan. Where did that come from? Anyways, where were we? Did stream drop for a second there? My bad. Should be fully back now. YouTube's not showing any errors at the moment. Let's see, when did it say the last time it went down was? Oh, 5 minutes ago. It did go down for a second. I might have the virus. Coughs once, has virus. Virus. All these fake gnome seems. They're gonna seem like you have a gnome. And there's no gnome. All the fake gnomes. Also, whenever you see a gnome in a profile, it's always a fake gnome, by the way. You can never see a gnome prior to a battle. It doesn't get determined until the battle actually starts. Hello, Defiant. Welcome. Yeah, we must have been grinding today, Defiant. Because we did Bounty Hunter during the previous stream, if you want to watch Bounty Hunter. But mostly just been grinding out Warpriest this stream. We're going to 95, which we are almost there. I think we need like 40 more battles, I want to say. Math, go. Why is that throwing me off that amount? It's 3 and then, math. Wait, it's 25 and then, yeah, 3. So it's 28. Pretty sure that's 28. I'm not sure why my brain just completely stopped. But that should be 28. Because 56. Well, it's 28 because we get 2 XP per battle. The problem is I tried doing that inversely, assuming 2 automatically, which is why it threw me off for a second. Yeah, that would have been a really easier to calculate if I just did the shared number and then divided by 2. I was like trying to do both simultaneously. That confused me for a second, but I got the right number. Not like I'm even keeping track of battles. I just wanted to know approximately. Also, so many useless ingots that we get at the end of battle. Same as trade stones. But, yeah, I have nothing to use all my ingots on. Or trade stones. But, both of them now. Nothing to use them on. Any advice on where to find how to play and understand the game? This channel right here. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. We've covered many videos on this game. If you have any specific questions, feel free to ask. No, I do not want to battle that strong. Though I've been doing pretty good on almost every single first repick being a good battle after. Very lucky today. Though technically our luck actually increases on that the later we get into the week. Because the more likely it would be that late game players would have played some amount of battles. Which would have made it less likely that we would have matched up to them. Not sure why I took that. I guess we had yellow sky chance. I mean green sky. Oh, we had blue in the corner. I could just taken that and saved a second or two. I don't think that makes too big of a difference, but every second counts when grinding. Because that means more grinding within the same amount of time. You missed the beginning, so you don't know the benefit of hitting low PvP. So, low PvP, basically, there's multiple things that determine your matchmaking whenever you go into a match. And one of the most consequential ones for this is your ranking that you're currently in. Like, you know how you have like these little tier things? This is a relatively outdated part of the game. However, the lower this is, the better for finding weak enemies. And in ranked PvP, this number increases. However, in casual PvP, this number does not increase, and it still is based on that number. So if you keep this deliberately very low by basically playing no PvP in a week, which can pretty much only be done on a non-Guild War week, but if you do this on a non-Guild War week and don't play essentially any PvP, you can then keep a very low rating, and by the end of the week or later in the week, a lot of the higher level players will be out, and there'll still be a bunch of lower level players here, and you can basically keep repicking casual one trophy PvP with only 50 gold in order to keep trying to find weak enemies. And just keep rinsing and repeating that over and over again. And it works very well for farming class XP as well as pet gnomes. Though, however, we haven't hit a single pet gnome this hour. But as I mentioned, it's not guaranteed that you would get one every hour. However, we have hit like 4 gnomes or something. But I'm mostly just doing this for the XP. The highest pet gnome rate in the game is just a byproduct of doing this. It's also a decent rate of gold. Though not the best, but still okay amount. Did the devs fix the ranking system in 5.0? For PvP, no. They were going to do a PvP update at the end of last year and never did, and they haven't done one. So I'm not sure what their plan is with PvP. It was originally supposed to happen at the end of last year, and it never happened. And now we haven't really heard any word about it. So I have not the slightest clue when we're going to get another PvP rework. No, 5.0 is not the PvP patch. Nor is Arena or Treasure Hunt being done. Which is supposedly being done by the end of this year. However, that could be the same thing as PvP being done at the end of last year. And then never happening. Hopefully it will still happen. But there is a chance that Arena and Treasure Hunt becomes the PvP of last year, and that they say it'll happen by the end of the year. and then it never happens by the end of the year. We'll have to wait and see. If anyone else has any other questions, let me know. As soon as we finish this level, we'll probably call it a night for now. And be back same time tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 1 hour prior to now tomorrow. Also, I might stream more Bug Fables tomorrow. During the day. I've been meaning to get done the storyline for stream. I know most people haven't been keeping up with it. But there's still some amount of people. Even though it's very low. And I really enjoy the game. It's actually probably my top 10 favorite games of all time, actually. I was a huge fan of the game that's based off of. And they did a really good job on it. Do I have a bounty team video? No, I don't cover I don't cover a video for the bounty hunters. We did do it during an entire stream earlier on the previous stream. The team we did was War Elephant, followed by KrissTigger, Tagraki, and then Excavator. It was this team right over here. It was War Elephant, KrissTigger, Tagraki, and Excavator. Is the team that we ran for it. With KrissTigger, Tagraki pretty much being used every single bounty hunter that you ever do. But I normally don't cover an independent video for it because we always just do an entire stream of it. Which we did this morning. And also because bounty hunters don't tend to change much between events. Like aside from the one team you use, that's the only difference. Every single bounty event. Strategy and everything else still the same every single time. As far as classes, if you haven't already, all the way in the top right, Stormheim Kingdom, you'd most likely want to go get that done, so you can go get Titan Hero class. Titan Hero class is the best, most well-rounded hero class in the entire game, and you could literally just keep that as your only hero class and never need to change it out. You might want to change up its perks occasionally, depending on your team, but you can quite literally use it as the only hero class you ever use, and you'll be perfectly fine. While there are still several other ones that are viable from time to time. Titan is overall the absolute best for almost every situation. And as far as banners can take a little while to learn how to set properly. But more often than not, you want to set your banner towards your mana accumulator. Whatever your main mana accumulator is for your team is normally what you want to set it to. One other strategy that you normally want to do it for is anything that has a 4, 7, 8, 10, and 11 mana cost, you normally want to set a +1 banner for. And anything that has a 5... let's see. What's all the numbers? Anything that has a 5, 10, 12... Yeah, 5, 10, 12. Anything that has a 5, 10, or 12 mana cost, you normally want to set a +2 too, as far as banner. And aside from that, you generally just put it into whatever your main mana accumulator is. In this particular team, it's set up to Rowan, mostly because we already have max mana on our generator. So we simply set it up on Rowan so that she can get, in combination with a half mana start, she can full mana off of 4 times or 5 times green, or 4 times or 5 times blue. But for example, if we were to go to a different team, which I might as well just show one of my different teams to kind of give an example. But if we go over to, no, let's just say my Guild War. Actually, that might be a bad example. My Guild War Defend Purple. But let's say, how about my Guild War Blue? What are we currently using for this? So right here, we have it set to +2 brown, +1 green. Obviously, we're minusing a color we do not use right here, which is red, which is generally what you want to ideally aim for, is if you're not using every color, -1 from the color that you're not using. All the minus banners are, or most of the minus banners are in the Underworld, as far as those banners. Right here, we want to give Apothecary a +1 because she's our main mana generator, and she has a 10 mana cost. And as I mentioned, you want to normally give a 10 mana cost either a +1 or a +2. With a +1, as long as you surge once and take at least the +1 once, you will get full mana. And if you did +2, even if you don't surge and you take whatever that mana is, you would have full mana after 2 turns. But normally just a +1 is fine for it, and that's what we end up doing here. And the +2 brown is beneficial because not only do we have multiple things that use brown, but we also have a brown mana accumulation. So not only are we feeding additional mana into our mana generator, but we also get to use that mana generator to then get even more value from the mana that it ends up accumulating, which we then accumulate into our damage sources. Very rarely would you ever set your banner specifically to your damage sources unless your mana generator was creating that color. In this case, we are. For example, we wouldn't actually use blue ever in a team like this because we don't actually mana generate blue, and blue is just going to keep going into our first slot here and kind of get wasted. So there wouldn't be much of a point in doing so, even though it might seem like it would make sense given that we have 4 blues. A team like this would never actually run a blue banner for the most part, unless we specifically had a generator that would also do so. Oh, that's not the team I wanted to use for this battle. Whoops. I guess we'll play it out if we can get a quick kill here. This team is very slow for this game mode, though. This is meant for Guild Wars, not for quick kill PvP. If nothing else, we can probably kill it out with a Grey King. No, I can't even do that because he's not even sharing that many of the same color. Let's see. We'll throw that over. What's the best way of going about this? Let's hit on yellow, I guess. So I'll double kill. We then do this into Basilisk. And I'll kill that out. There we go. Okay, not the team I wanted. Where'd my rolling team go? There it is. I do own my own guild, but we don't have any space, and the requirements are pretty high. However, if you're looking for a guild, the best place to look for is either Global Chat 1, which can be found over here by going into chat and then going over to settings and then going to channel and then typing in 1 and then clicking go. And if it says no, just keep trying because it might be full. But as you can see here, people are normally recruiting. We can already see 1, 2, only 2 so far. But there's normally people recruiting here. And they normally use like colored text. But just like a Global Chat 1's a pretty good location. Also, the Gems of War forum, official forum, is a pretty good location. gemsofwar.com, then go to the forum section. You would need to make an account if you do that method. But that normally has quite a few different guilds that you can end up finding as well. But any other questions, anyone? Otherwise, we'll probably call it a night. We'll be back 1 hour prior to now tomorrow night, same time as always. That is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'll mostly be trying to get Warpriest to 100. We'll probably get it to like 97, 98 tomorrow, and then boom, 100 by Sunday. And then next week we start working on whatever next class we go for. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll go for Slayer or something. We'll see. Oh, yeah, Reddit you could use as a source too. Yeah, pretty much any forum-based kind of location. I mostly just say the official Gems of War forum because I feel like it's the most active. But theoretically, any forum like location, even the Discord for Gems of War could technically work. But normally Global 1 is good enough as well. The only problem with Global 1 is it doesn't have like a full database that you can search for. You can just only see what is currently, posted, which are just these 2 at the moment until more people make their thing. But on something like a forum, you can check all the way back, like days, and see like all those things that have occurred recently. Yep, no problem for it all to help. Anyways, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. We'll be back soon. And, yeah, stay safe out there. Catch you guys soon. And thank you all so much for watching. Goodbye, everyone.